Mr. Barkhurst, when you say panel disarmed, the records in 40 actually say panel disarmed by Stanley Ford.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, you're the trier of fact, and how the evidence bears out and who disarmed that alarm will be a decision that you make. Mr. Barkhurst is testifying as to the documents that were provided by Alarm.com, and you've heard testimony from Mr. DaCosta from Alarm.com and his explanation of those things. So you'll rely on your collective memories. You'll be the decider of who disarmed or armed that alarm. Sustained.
Prosecutors continuing to put their case together against Stanley Ford. He's accused of setting 2 fires in 2 houses, 3 fires altogether, but killing 9 people, including 5 children. One of the issues coming up now is the fire in 2016 is putting together a video timeline of what happened that night, because there is surveillance video. Now, what does it exactly prove? What does it show? I think, for one, it certainly proves that this was arson. Let's take a listen to Bradley Barkhurst from the Fire Marshal's Office Forensics Lab.
And what are you noting at this slide?
Vehicle moving frame left.
Okay. And that's on East Avenue again?
Yes.
This is a camera view from camera 3 from 714 Fultz?
Yes, 714 Full Street.
Okay. What are you noting here on this slide, sir?
Liquid visible.
Where is this camera?
That is on 719 Full Street.
Okay. And how do you have the liquid noted here on this slide, sir?
Just with an arrow.
What do you see here next?
Individual or an object.
Okay. What time is this at?
3:15, 12 a.m.
And this is from Channel 4 from 719 Fultz?
Yes.
What are you showing here, sir, on this slide?
Flames visible.
Okay. What about this slide? Can you tell the jury what you're looking at here?
Individual moving frame left.
This is once again from camera 4 from 714 Fultz?
Yes.
Okay. And back to this slide here, you have the arrow pointed at what?
Flames visible.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Now, is this attempt here noted on your timeline?
Yes.
Okay. And as you watch it, where does this individual go looking at this next slide?
Towards the left.
Okay. And he's running towards, this would be East Avenue back here, is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Now, for me as a former prosecutor, timeline is very important. And as a journalist, extremely important in trying to understand what happened and how everything unfolded in cases like this. Let's bring in Court TV crime and justice reporter Joy Lim-Nakrin, who's joining us live from Akron, Ohio tonight. Joy, to me, timeline super significant and important. What can you tell us about the timeline of events from 2016, April 18th?
Yeah, so of course this was developed actually by Bradley Barkhurst, who we just heard, that forensic examiner who testified on behalf of the state. And of course his testimony is so central to the prosecution's narrative in terms of really building a cohesive argument that makes sense with a whole chronological order and a storyline. So let's show you that timeline as he lays it out, and it all begins on the evening in question of that first deadly fire, April 18th of 2016 at 2:57 a.m. in the overnight hours. An alarm monitor panel disarmed at Stanley Ford's home at 1374 Hillcrest Street. Then at 3:13 a.m. Tail light darkens in the driveway of 1374 Hillcrest Street. Again, that is the defendant's home, one of the defendant's home. Suspect allegedly shown walking towards 719 Fulton Street at that time. Then at 3:15 a.m., there's the first attempt to set the fire. The suspect allegedly running from 719 Fulton Street. That is Lindell Lewis's home, where Lindell Lewis and Gloria Hart died in the first fire. And then you see at 3:17 a.m. movement on the side of 1374 Hillcrest once again, the defendant's home. 3:21 a.m. light turns on at the defendant's home. 3:25 a.m. a vehicle pulls up. Suspect allegedly walks toward 719 Fulton Street, the victim's home. 3:26 a.m. second attempt to set the fire. Suspect allegedly runs from the victim's home, 719 Fulton Street. 3:27 a.m. movement then detected on the side of 1374 Hillcrest. Again, the defendant's home. 3:33 a.m. suspect allegedly walks toward 719 Fulton Street, the victim's home. 3:34 a.m. a third attempt, and then that is when the fire actually starts. And then the suspect allegedly runs behind 1370 Hillcrest. That is another one of the defendant's family homes. And at 3:39 a.m., just 5 minutes later, neighbor Betty Williams calls 911. So as you can see, a lot of times in these cases, we talk about, Vinny, pieces of evidence that are presented at various times by prosecutors, and a lot of times we question whether the state has actually connected the dots. Well, here, what we've seen today is the state essentially connecting the dots.
Let's bring in the think tank, see if they agree. Eklund Mercy, how concerned should the defense be tonight with this timeline coming together?
Pretty concerned. This is like a defense attorney's worst nightmare, especially when they line it up. So at this point, it's going to be actually up to the most important part of the trial, which is jury selection. It's going to be up to what those people in the box and what they think, and if the video is enough. So I don't have anything. I just, when a prosecutor is organized, when a prosecutor has their things together, when they can really put video and the time together, which is actually hard, it's pretty scary for defense.
All right, let's take a listen to a little bit of the defendant himself. They played an interview in front of this jury today. Let's listen.
Yeah, I was calling to follow up with you about the fire across the street. A couple of things. Well, one major thing is, keeps coming up. Because of the tumultuous history that, you and the people in Lindell's house had, everybody is thinking you, right?
No, I never heard that, Tanisha.
Oh, yeah, that's the running thing. So much so that I'm concerned that, people may want to take things into their own hands.
Tanisha, listen to me once again. I do not mess with these people up here. Them guys try to get me to come and engage with them. Them guys was nasty. They had prostitutes in and out all night. They was dealing with homosexuality.
Okay, Kirk, what does the jury do with that? The defendant there saying, I don't mess with these people, they're nasty. They've got prostitutes at their house. They're engaging in homosexuality.
Well, it's more, it fits into this narrative. The timeline is one thing, right? The timeline can be dry circumstantial facts. But as we talk about this builds a story, this builds his disdain, this builds motive, that sort of thing. So it's kind of the thread that weaves all these pieces together to help the state build their case against the defendant. And it's starting to come together. We can see it developing now, not only just in facts, dry facts, but in motive.
All right, Nima Rahmani, as a prosecutor, you like all the evidence, right? But which do you think is going to be more persuasive in trying to get this guy onto death row, which is what prosecutors are attempting to do here?
Vinny, today's evidence was by far the most persuasive, and we hadn't heard of any of this to date. The opening statements were relatively short. The state started with these motive witnesses to show that Ford was a bad neighbor, an angry person, but the defense did a great job on cross. They're talking about drug deals gone bad, prostitutes, and I'm sitting here scratching my head. Is this really a death penalty case? Well, today we know it is a death penalty case because of what the state did. Minutes within these fires starting, Ford disables his alarm. He's walking back and forth outside of his house. This is the smoking gun that jurors will hang their hat on when they convict him. And I'm glad we finally heard it today, because up until today's testimony, frankly, I was sitting here scratching my head.
All right, it will continue tomorrow.